Absolutely. Republic being the only channel reporting from ground, and Rohit there getting us more of those visuals of the impact of the rocket attack in Kabul. Let me now bring in Lieutenant General Raj Kadian, who's joining us on the phone line. Appreciate you speaking to us, sir. General Kadian, what do you make of the current situation? And, if I could ask you a more pointed question, who do you think is really to be blamed on what we're seeing? ISIS-K, of course, took responsibility of the blast that took place at the Kabul airport. But what has been happening since then? Where do you think, things are going wrong? And how essentially can this be fixed? Because you have an ISIS-K that Taliban has disassociated itself with. It says that they are sworn enemies, and so has the United States. But we know how ISIS-K and the Haqqani network are also in good terms. So Haqqani playing a crucial role in, the Taliban regime. Things not quite adding up, sir.
Situation in Afghanistan, particularly in Kabul, is uncertain and dangerous will be an understatement. It is indeed very dangerous. One feels for the people of Afghanistan. What is Taliban? Taliban is a mixture of 6 to 8 different terror organizations who now have competing interests. ISK has been accusing Taliban of going soft on the Islamization of Afghanistan. They belong to a Salafi belief, although both are Sunnis, but their ideology is different. Now, Taliban and America, who've been at each other's throat for the last 20 years, are seemingly combining, both in their self-interest. All these rocket attacks, I'm sure more of these will take place. The ISK, which is behind all this, they have been behind the many murders in the last 2-3 years. They want to cause a sensation by hitting at an American aircraft or something big. The Taliban is not a united group. Even within Taliban, there are factions who are assisting ISK. The American drone attack is basically for public consumption, for the domestic audience, because the drones come from Middle East, which takes 5 to 6 hours. By the time they arrive there, you think the fleeting targets of terrorists will be there? No question. Every drone attack will have a collateral damage. The Taliban are also making a statement so that they don't antagonize the people of Afghanistan. They also know that attacks are coming and attacks will have collateral damage. But what the world needs to remember, they already know about it, is that these all terror groups are the mere branches. The root of the tree is Pakistan. World has known it all along, but because America needed Pakistan, they were keeping the eyes closed. India has been pressurizing the world to declare Pakistan a terror state. Americans were resisting it. They needed Pakistan for their own interest. But now I think time has come. America may not need Pakistan to that extent. That is why they are not even permitted to have drone bases in Pakistan, which would have been close by. So now the world must take action against the root, that is Pakistan. Pakistan has been running their security and their foreign policy on the basis of terrorism. And they are the most opportunist country. They use America, they took all the dollars and continued to operate against them, like hiding Osama bin Laden, etc. And now they are with the Chinese because the dollars are coming from there. I mean, the whole world knows Osama bin Laden died on Pakistan territory. Maulana Omar, who was the founder of Taliban, died in their hospital in Pakistan. Even Baradar was captured in 2010 in Pakistan. Haqqani network, which is a close ally of the ISK, and both are linked with the Pakistan army, has their headquarters in Waziristan, which is Pakistan territory. The world knows about it, but the world was so far keeping their eyes closed. Time has come to go to the root of the problem, which is Pakistan. This uncertainty will continue. Even when Taliban comes, one factor which is keeping quiet are the warlords. They are the ones who control all the poppy and all that. So they are so far keeping quiet. They will become active. It will be a civil war situation. I do not expect any stability in Afghanistan in the near future.
Yes. Thank you, General Qadian, for sharing that perspective with us here on Republic TV. We'll come back to you in just a bit. Let me, for the moment, bring back Air Commodore Prashant Dikshit, who continues to be with us. Commodore Dikshit, do you also essentially believe that this is a larger message that is being sent out to the United States that, look, before you could leave the country and your evacuation date essentially came to an end, the deadline came to an end, we've sent out a message. It's us who've sent you back.
Well, firstly, will you please address me as Air Commodore? Air Commodore is Navy, Air Commodore is Air Force. Now to your main point. You know, the U.S.
All right, apologies. Apologies for that, Air Commodore.
Not at all. But let me make
Yes, sir.
You know, the U.S. nurtured Afghanistan, trained a fighting force of 300,000. There was a government in place there with Ghani as the president, and the blame that is being put against the U.S. that they went away without setting a structure. Not true at all. They had set up the whole thing. For last 2 years, they have been saying that we are going to go away. The previous regimes in U.S. have been telling openly. All that Biden has done is to implement that promise given by the American administration. But the difficulty is, despite the plethora of intelligence systems, which is at the beck and call of the Americans, they did not know that there are systems being nurtured in the territory of Afghanistan. Yes, Pakistan has played a role. But Pakistan is under severe fire, as you all know. There is an effort, committee examining the role of Pakistan in promoting terrorism. They have just been brought to grey areas. They have a big issue. They will be put into red areas, and that will be the end of the existence of Pakistan from the larger global domain. And mind you, if the Pakistan regime feels they can survive on the support of the Chinese government, then they are at a great loss, because there are linkages of Pakistan with the Saudi Arabian countries elsewhere. And Pakistan cannot dream of surviving. So let me say, my assessment is that the several radical groups which were dormant in Afghanistan have risen to this occasion. All that essentially needs to be done, that there's a pipeline of their weapon systems which are flowing to them needs to be stopped. Years ago, 30 years ago, in a study done on the proliferation of small arms and light weapons, I had pointed out the problem of Afghanistan is plethora of weapon systems. That, I'm afraid, has not stopped. The monitor on small arms coming out of Geneva is saying all is tickety-boo. I'm afraid that's not correct at all. And we have to, the world community, including Pakistan, must get into the act by stemming the flow of small arms and light weapons. These rockets are coming from, they could be coming from Kazakhstan. Now, there are these routes which are flowing weapons into Afghanistan. They need to be stopped for good. Until you do that, you will have this problem. Now, dealing politically within Afghanistan, I think we have to bring in some players who could play a role. I believe UAE has shown some inclination. So has Iran, despite the fact that Iran has a less agreement portion with Sunni group in Afghanistan. Russia can play a role. China can play a role. China has much to lose if it does not stop this internal warfare which is taking place in Afghanistan. And they have dreams and passions, plans to bring their OBOR system to Afghanistan. If this thing goes on, nothing can be done there. So I am telling you, interested parties must be made to realize that if they have a role to play in Afghanistan, they must stop the flow of weapons and bring these insurgent radical groups to heel. Tell me.
Absolutely. Because Air Commodore, let's, also talk a little bit more about, and I'll come back to you for that, but quickly bringing back Lieutenant General Raj Qadian into the conversation. General Qadian, Air Commodore Prashant Dikshit made some very important points and of course spoke of how the root cause is Pakistan, and you essentially made that point as well. But sir, look at what Pakistan is trying to do and how it thinks that it can keep fooling the international community by saying that, you know, oh, we want an inclusive government in Afghanistan, and we will be talking to Taliban, and, you know, we just want peace and calm across Afghanistan. But we know that Pakistan essentially through Lashkar-e-Toiba and the Haqqani network is using the ISIS-K as a front to do what it's doing on ground zero. Lieutenant General Raj Qadian.
The connection.
Sir, are you getting my audio, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What I'm saying is that Pakistan has been playing a game of duplicity all along. They undoubtedly have a hold over most of this terror organization. They've been using them to destabilize Afghanistan, to hurt the Americans in the long run, despite the fact they've been getting their dollars. Now, the world must rein in Pakistan. I mean, a country which is latently flouting that Mr. Sareen talked about, the FATF. But what have they done? They've been on the grey list for the last 3 years, from 2018 onward. But the big powers are not interested in going further. I do not know whether they will still go further, because today China and Russia may not be all that anti-Pakistan. Every country has some interest, self-interest. That is how the diplomacy runs. So I think the uncertainty is going to carry on. They will be in fighting. The terrorists today are flush with weapons and sophisticated weapons left behind by the Afghan army. Second, there is no accounting of these weapons. They took weapons from the surrendered Afghan army people. They looted armories. There is no accounting. The Taliban itself doesn't have a centralized control. They're a disorganized group. As I said earlier, some of them, I am sure, are helping ISK in launching these attacks. So it is a very uncertain situation. I don't know what the world can do. India can only wait and watch. That is the only policy. The good part is that India has a lot of goodwill from the public in Afghanistan. With the selfless work that we've done on the development front, making a dam, the power line, the roads, the parliament building and others. So that goodwill in time to come, once the situation stabilizes, one hope it does. Once that happens, then India should have some kind of a link with the Taliban. So far, they're making pro-India statements that they want to maintain good relations with India. But that is only time will tell whether they mean what they are saying or it is just a public statement as of today. So one has to wait and watch. Pakistan continues to be the villain in the piece. But the world has not been able to do anything. Let us hope it does something now.
Yes. General Qadian, appreciate you joining us and speaking to us. Also thanking Air Commodore Prashant Dikshit for sharing his perspective. Republic, the first and only channel reporting from ground zero, putting out those visuals of what really is happening in Kabul and, you know, the impact of the attack that has been felt really. We move on for now, but we'll be back with more details coming in.
Hi everyone, you are watching Republic World TV from Afghanistan. Here is the place that the rocket has been hit from here to Kabul airport. Fortunately, defended by Kabul airport radar system. Hi everyone, you are watching Republic World TV from Afghanistan. Here is the place that the rocket has been hit from here to Kabul airport. Fortunately, defended by Kabul airport radar system.